Welcome back to this stage. I don't know if you guys recall, you've been here a while ago now,
Yeah.
10 years almost.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Sweet to be back, though.
You guys looked exactly the same.
Of course.
I've clearly aged.
Clearly not a day.
What's been going on the last 10 years? I forgot. You guys don't call anymore? You don't write?
Well, we won a Grammy. We've been hitting the road.
Yeah,
We've been doing
there's
all
that.
kind of stuff.
Dropped it
But
right
hey,
up.
but it's been a good 10 years. I have to say, especially in today's climate, it's so hard for bands to not only get going, but stay going. And so we just feel so grateful that we're still here 10 years later, truly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you think about, 10 years ago, that precedes the whole COVID thing by 5 years. And we've come so
Jeez.
far, like in the last 5 years. It's nuts.
Yeah.
How was sorting through that? I know bands who make their living getting out and performing, you guys that was completely taken away from your lives. How was getting through those waters 5 years ago?
I mean, honestly, we kind of pivoted during that year and did a lot of live streaming and
Sure.
we made a lot of videos and got into our cover video series where we make covers online, and we stayed really busy.
We made 2 records that year,
and
actually.
we made 2 records. that
Yeah,
year.
we started. It's kind of a cool, as you said, a cool pivot. We started a home studio during that time because we were, all kind of isolating together and made 2 records at home, and then that sort of took off. And so the last 5 or 6 records that we've now made have been in our home studio, including the one that won a Grammy. I'm talking like basement apartment, garden basement
really?
apartment,
Yeah.
really crummy, but also really cozy and home-like. So kids make records in your basement.
Well, that's good, though, because a lot of bands, they have to seek out some destination somewhere and then hunker down, and it's kind of inspired from where they're at that moment. But this place clearly means a lot.
It does. I feel like ultimately, the biggest hurdle that my sister and I are always trying to get over together is being able to make music from as vulnerable a place as we can. And I think we've found, it's different for every artist. Artists need different things, but to be able to be in a home environment where there was no red light fever or worrying about the dollars and the cents that
Sure.
were mounting up when you're in a studio allowed us the space and longevity, I think, to have long form conversations that ultimately informed the songs that we then released on, especially this newest record, Bloom.
They won a Grammy last year, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's kind of a big deal. So as you go into this new record, Bloom, I think you said that you were writing it kind of sort of at the time as you received the Grammy, right?
It's true. It
And
was
then-
sort of all tangled up.
So then does the expectation level go up? Is there pressure on the shoulders, or were you just like, nah, man, let's just keep rolling?
Yeah, it was kind of let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
If anything, it was like a confidence booster. Okay,
Yeah.
we're on the right path, so we just gotta believe and keep moving forward.
Just confirmed that you guys really got it. That's awesome.
Oh man, I wish that we had that kind of confidence. I do feel like the imposter syndrome is so real, and I know everybody can relate to this. Even if you're at peak craft, it's it's a real mind game to continue to engage and be
Sure.
the whole desiderata. I don't know if you guys have read that poem, but it's understanding that there will always be people who you can do something better than, but they can do better than you.
Sure.
And so it's keeping that context, I think, has really been helpful for our journey together. Bless our little hearts.
Well, you guys have been able to be on stage with a great many phenomenon, Slash, Keith Urban, Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And I read a story about Mike kind of inspired or ignited one of the songs on the album. True or false?
True.
Okay.
Totally true.
Tell the story, please.
So we played a show in LA and invited Steve Campbell and Mike Ferroni out to play with us, and they agreed. So we ended up sitting in. They ended up sitting in with us on our show.
Crazy.
Which was just insane. And Mike Campbell stayed side to stage and watched the whole show. And then afterwards, he was like, "Hey, I enjoyed the show, but..." And you're like, "Okay, we're listening." And he said, "I thought that you could use a sibling harmony moment, kind of like the Everly Brothers. So,
Wow.
When you're writing next time, maybe consider that." So when we sat down to write for Bloom, and we were like, you know what? Let's start off writing in the style of the Everly Brothers. And so that ended up being the first song we wrote, and it's the last song on the record.
That's awesome. That's so cool. When you're up on stage with a guy like Slash, though, are you like, I'm out doing this, I'm out shredding this guy, or are you like, holy crap?
I don't know. I have to say, I mean, it's really cool to be on stage with one sibling because I am my sister's biggest fan.
Yeah.
And especially because she is such a phenom at her instrument.
Yes.
Watching her and Slash like cut heads together and like trade licks I was just at the back of the stage like, oh, it's my girl up there.
Also,
That's my girl holding her own.
I've never dimed my amp before on stage, but you had to like keep up with Slash because his is like 3 amps turned all the way up. It's like the power is like, oh my god.
It's an assaultive experience being on the stage with Slash. It's true.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to get out of the way. Play a few more for us. Thank you so much for coming back.
Oh,
Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys for having us, and thanks for coming out, y'all.
Yeah. This is Larkin Poe.